Hello, everyone, and welcome to another new episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
Frankie,
What's up?
I was gonna say something.
Oh,
Sorry,
I thought you were
sorry.
going to ask me about harangue again.
I am gonna ask you about that,
You
but
do
I
this
wanted to
every
first
time we
apologize.
watch harangue. You want to apologize to me? Oh, no, never mind. All right, let's go. Let's hear it.
Yeah. I wanted to apologize for being late. I had to clean Secret's ears, and I lost track of time.
Are his ears clean now?
Yeah, they're very
That's all
clean.
that's important.
I had to put eardrops in, and he was not a happy camper.
Oh, poor baby.
I have wounds. I have
You've
wounds.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So, but he's all good. So I apologize for being late.
Oh, it's
That's
fine.
my
I was late too, so
Yeah, I
that's
was
my
just sitting there like, where are my friends? Do they not love me anymore and don't want to record?
another apology that I have to make is not to anybody who listens to this podcast, but I just feel like I need to put this out into the universe just because. Um, and technically, this one's not my fault, but I still feel bad.
it's not my fault.
I think I told you guys that Monique broke herself, or almost broke herself.
Which
Uh,
time? She does that a lot.
whenever she sprained her ankle most recently, what was it, 2 Fridays ago? Is somewhat recently. Before she had gone outside to take out the trash at 4 a.m., she opened our back porch, and we have a back porch, so the cats can go out. She went to the hospital. I went to work. Fluff was out on the back porch for 6 hours.
So you're apologizing to Fluff?
I
Go
am
apologize
apologizing.
to Fluff. Don't
I
apologize to us.
I've apologized to him several times and he's gotten multiple treats, but I still feel so bad about it. So now every time that I let him out, I feel like I'm like hyper vigilant of him.
Was he
Yeah.
upset about those 6 hours? Like, did he
He
did he
was
seem?
when I came home because I came home early because obviously she was broken, so I did what I needed to do and then came home from work as soon as I could to work from home the rest of the day. I I heard scratching at the back porch and
Oh,
he like zoomed in. He's like, "You motherfucker."
Oh,
You
so
okay.
he didn't want to be out there. This was not a husky in the winter enjoying the cold weather kind of
Well,
vibe.
he did want to be out there for a little bit.
But not
I don't,
6 hours worth of
I don't
out
think
there.
I don't think he wanted to be out there for 6 hours. Now, I didn't even know he was out there because again, I wasn't awake at 4 a.m. when she let him out. Regardless, I still feel bad. So this is my public apology to Fluffernutter, Sir Fluffington the Third. I
Does he
love
listen to
you.
the show? Is he gonna hear it or
He probably will at some point.
Do you leave the show on
for
at
I
them?
home
actually,
when you
Yeah.
go to work
I
on
have.
Wednesdays?
Yeah, I have.
All right then.
So
But
this is your public apology then.
that was my public apology. I never thought my first public apology would be towards a cat.
Should we get you a ukulele?
Oh God.
Yeah, you want to sing your
No.
apology? Or
Well, if I'm gonna do something bad, I'm gonna do that interpretive dance.
that's how all
Well,
meaningful apologies are made, a ukulele and a song.
I liked the interpretive dance one. That was really bad.
That one was funny. I do remember that. That was good.
Anyway, Frankie,
Yeah,
harangue.
we're gonna talk about harangue again.
We're gonna talk about harangue. How are you
A
feeling?
harangue update. We have what, like 4 or 5 episodes left?
We're on episode 14, so we have six.
So, well, I was off by one. It's good. Like it's still good, but they added one song to the lineup, so that's good. There's a fifth song. That's important to note. They refrained from doing corny music at a tense moment when the tense moment ended the episode. So congrats to them for that. They
Yeah,
then
there was a sword at somebody's neck,
and they
and
didn't do
Frankie
the
was
corny
like,
music.
yeah, he's like, if they end it with really bad music with this
But did
They
it end with sparkles?
It did end with sparkles, but the sparkles are always usually accompanied by like happy music as well.
corny,
And
lovey music, yeah.
and this was like a moment where the two main leads of the show, one of them had a sword at the other one's neck because it's like, I think you killed my friend. Did you? Are you the person who killed my friend? Is the basic question. And if you are the person who killed my friend, I am going to murder you right now. and they didn't do the corny music. The next episode also ended with a tense moment and did have the corny music. So
No, it didn't.
it certainly did.
It did not.
Our final episode, it certainly had some corny music.
It
It
did
was
not.
the corny music was starting to play, and you hit next episode immediately.
There was not corny music there. Because he announced that he was the king.
And then they played some corny music. They played
It
some
wasn't
happy
corny
music. They played some happy music. There was nothing to be happy about in that scene. We had just witnessed 4 people get executed. Happy days are here again, I guess.
Frankie was mentioning because they did a flashback to when this guy's friend died and there was a lot of blood, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot about the deaths in this. They're so bloody."
Yeah, they hadn't had a death in a while, and then this episode they killed like 5 people.
They killed a lot. There's a lot of deaths in the show.
I guess they're all at the end. It's all weighted.
It was all in this episode.
Yeah, they killed. Well, one person was killed off screen, but we did see a decapitated head on a horse.
Ooh,
So that counts.
We saw 3 decapitated heads.
Oh,
on
it's
a horse.
3. So it's actually 8 people that have died, or
Yeah.
no, 7 people who have died.
Right.
And then we saw 4 people get executed.
The straight up murked, and the 15 minutes didn't pass.
Yeah, the end of the episode was like, "Hey, look, I know that one of you 4 harangue members is the king. I will kill you. I want to kill you. I hate you and your people and all that you stand for. I want to murder you right now. So you got to reveal yourself, because I don't know which one of you is the king. No one knows who the king is. That's the whole plot of the show.
Yeah, one of the plots.
But I have all of these people from your kingdom that I've captured because they're farming in my land. Unacceptable. I'm going to put 4 of them here in front of you, 1 in front of each harangue member, and I will kill them all in 15 minutes if you do not tell me who you are. And then I'll kill 4. Well, first of all, he said, I'll kill 1 person every 15 minutes until you reveal yourself. And then he brought up 4 people, and I was like, all right, he already reneged on the deal. And then it was like 7 minutes because he said, oh, half the time has passed. And then he killed the 4 before the 15 minutes were up. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the show goes. We're not going to watch it for another few weeks, but you know.
Don't make me sad.
You'll get an update in 3 weeks.
So sad.
You'll get a harangue update in 3 weeks.
Frankie's favorite character, I did have a big reveal for him that Frankie's favorite character is in the Marvel MCU.
Yeah, you're in what, the Marvels, like that movie?
Yeah, he's Carol Danvers' husband.
I might have to watch that movie then. Fuck. I really didn't want to. I've heard it's not good.
But you really love Dogbird.
I love Dogbird. He's my favorite character.
I didn't know you were a fanboy.
He's a good
Mingyu, Dogbird.
We don't have to keep sharing all of this information.
You on this podcast,
we don't have to share this personal information.
On this podcast, you said you were a Mingyu fanboy.
I didn't say I was a Mingyu fanboy. I said Mingyu's cool. There's a difference.
Nah.
You can think someone's cool without being a fan of them.
You seemed like you were a fan.
You know what I am a fan of?
Meat falling from the sky?
Hannah. Well, I wasn't gonna say that. I was just gonna say I'm a fan of Hannah's stories. I don't know if I'm a fan of meat falling from the sky. But Hannah, you're in control this week.
Can I finally take the reins?
Yeah, you can take the reins for your disgusting meat-based story.
You're welcome. Is it Hanwoo? Like, is it Korean beef?
Oh,
no. Is it Wagyu?
That would be lovely, but no.
Oh no, is it people? Are we gonna be in a Soylent Green situation?
I don't know.
I don't like the way you said that. I don't know. I don't know if that means it is people, but I don't appreciate the way you voiced that answer.
I'm upset. I'm scared.
All right, Hannah, tell us about your story tonight.
Welcome to my weird history report. Tonight, we'll be talking about Kentucky's meat shower.
Oh, the Colonel got mad. Someone done pissed him off.
Wait a minute. Wait.
This is how Kentucky Fried Chicken was born.
Can I real quick? I feel like I've revealed this to you guys, but I'm gonna reveal this to the audience. when I was a kid. Um, Frankie, Hannah, can you look up the KFC logo for me real quick?
Why
Why?
are we doing it when you
Just
can't see it?
I don't need to see it to know.
Okay, I have it in my head. I can picture it.
I thought that his bow tie.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah, you're a fool. You're just dumb.
What's his arms and legs?
You thought it was a giant head on very small arms and legs. Yeah.
You thought
God.
it was a really bad caricature.
I've if you look
What do you
at
mean
his bow
bad?
tie,
Well, his head's good, but his body wasn't then.
if you look at his bow tie, it looks like little arms and legs.
And if you look at LOL written out, it looks like a person drowning.
Does it?
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. The hands are the elves and the
Oh,
yeah.
mine's better.
And if you look at the sky, you'll see meat.
In Kentucky only,
Why Kentucky?
because that's where our story today is set.
Mm.
It's March 3rd, 1876.
Oh
We're in,
no.
oh no,
Oh no. It's old. It's in the old days.
it is in the olden days.
You know this meat is gross.
Yeah, it's fucking rancid. There's no refrigerators really.
We're in Bath County, Kentucky. It's around 11 a.m. The sky is clear when suddenly raw meat rains down from the sky and continues to do so for several minutes. A woman by the name of Mrs. Crouch watched this happen. She was outside on her porch making soap, as was reported in the New York Times. The meat, which looked like beef, fell all around her. The sky was perfectly clear at the time, and she said it fell like large snowflakes. It's very important to note here that the weather is saying clear skies, but Mrs. Crouch did say that the winds were picking up like a storm was about to blow in. But every single report of the Kentucky meat shower, it says it was clear skies, no clouds in sight, kind of clear. But the Crouch's farm is now covered in meat, and it's reported that enough meat fell to fill up a wagon.
What kind of meat?
We'll get to that.
Because like you said, this is a farm, so maybe someone just like, set off a
We we
bomb.
will we will get to the meat, what the meat is.
Do you think people are just going to farms in Kentucky and setting off bombs or grenades?
I don't know what they do in
Well,
the
do you
South.
know what Mrs. Crouch, like what she thinks is happening when the meat is falling?
World War Three. No, one.
No, World War One hasn't even happened.
That's
Yeah.
why I said one. I corrected myself. I forgot we were in the olden times.
Mrs. Crouch thinks her son has been killed and dismembered on his way home, and his body was now being thrown around the farm in little chunks.
That's
Huh.
amazing. It was March. If honestly, if I saw that outside of my house this time, I'd be like, oh, somebody's really dedicated to Halloween.
So a murderer could get away with crimes at your
Around
place.
Amanda, yeah.
Around Amanda. She's not going to report anything unusual.
Around
Only-
Amanda in spooky season. A
Yeah,
murderer
only
can get away
during-
with crimes.
Only during spooky season. That's commitment. What do you want from me? Commit to your craft.
What would you do when it starts smelling? This hypothetical murder that's taken place.
I'm saying if this is outside of my house.
Yeah, eventually it's going to smell.
Okay? It's not my
What
problem.
are you going to do then?
It is your problem because it's your prop. Well, it's not your property. You rent, but like it's gonna smell bad. You're gonna want to get rid of it, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm gonna call my landlord.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Okay, poor landlord, it's your problem now.
exactly.
So the meat chunks are not from Mrs. Crouch's son. I'm going to make that clear. It's not human meat.
That's
We
good.
know that. So once Mrs. Crouch realized the meat was not her son, and the word started to spread about this weird ass weather phenomenon.
I have a history question for you, Hannah.
Uh-huh.
How did she realize it wasn't her son?
I'm assuming he came home.
Okay,
Yeah.
not a hey, let's taste this and figure out what it is kind of situation.
No,
would
I'm
you
assuming
know
that he walked down the road and he's like, "Hey, mom, what's up?"
All right, that's good. All right.
She's like, why are you freaking out? Yeah, she's like, oh my god, you're alive, having like an emotional meltdown. Like,
Pause. Frankie, that question you asked about tasting the meat.
Yeah.
If me and Hannah were killed and you tasted us, do you really think by tasting us you could tell the difference if I was
I
if
think. Well,
who was
I don't.
Hannah and who was
Whoa,
me?
whoa, whoa, whoa! No! That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
That's
Not what I'm
exactly
saying
what
at all.
you said.
I'm saying I could probably tell it wasn't cow or chicken and be like, well, this is a human being that I just ate. I'm disgusted. I'm
aren't we
gonna
supposed to taste
die
like
now.
pork or something?
There's so many different like
Conflicting
references.
conflicting reports.
Yeah.
The only way you'll get that is if you taste it yourself, and that's illegal. So
The people who were in that plane crash, they said that honestly they really didn't taste humans didn't taste like anything, but that was probably because of the shock. The Donner Party said chicken, or cow.
that or cow, those things don't taste the same, even close to the same.
Depending on which member you asked. And then there was a guy who chopped off his penis and testicles and then fed them to people. Um, People paid him to eat his testicles. Um, and they said that it was chewy and fatty, really didn't taste like much. So I'm going to assume that we don't taste like anything.
Wasn't there a dude who had like he like part of his body like was amputated, and he
Yeah, the
like
guy with the foot. Yeah, he got his foot amputated and he ate his own foot or something.
like he had a barbecue, and he's like, "Hey friends, I'm consenting to us eating my body part. Do you want to taste human flesh?"
Yeah, he totally did.
Like he barbecued it and stuff.
Yeah, it was his foot, and he said it tasted good, like ground beef. I imagine testicles and penis. Like I'm gonna eat any body part, it's not gonna be the testicle and penis. Why would you pay money for that? That just throws me for a loop. Are you all
Anyway,
right, Frankie?
I'm fine. Let's keep going.
back to the Crouch farm. Word got out about the meat rain, and the next day, all the neighbors were there. Everyone's showing up to the Crouch's farm to see the meat. And
They
where
just
there,
it's 1800s, right? They just wanted free food.
well, I don't think they really want this because where there was once fresh meat, now laid meat that was rotten and dry. A man by the name of Harrison Gill saw the meat laying around the Crouch's home the day after the meat shower. He said it was sticking out of the fences and chunks were scattered around the ground. There were also some reports of the meat having chipped the roof. And one chunk of meat was reported to be 10 centimeters large, but most were about half that size. Also, to help visualize the size of some of the meat chunks, please note that one piece was said to be the size of a human hand.
One Piece?
Just one piece, yeah.
Somebody gonna be the king of the pirates?
Oh my god, we can never say those two words around you, can we? Every fucking time.
Scientists took samples to investigate what the meat substance was, but they had to act quickly because the farm animals and the Crouch's cat started to eat the meat.
That's
And
what animals do.
two unnamed men ate some of the meat.
That's all right. Arrest them.
We knew it was coming. Someone
Arrest
had to eat the meat.
arrest them. This might not be a crime, but also that's weird. So they should be investigated.
They said it tasted like either venison or mutton.
I don't like the taste of venison and I don't like mutton.
I've never had mutton, but I'm a big venison guy.
Ugh.
Now, most of my sources said the men who ate it are unknown, but the podcast, and that's why we drank, did an episode on the Kentucky Meat Shower. And one of the hosts said that one of these men was named Jimmy Welch, and he agreed to eat the meat for $1.
Oh yeah, guys will do that.
Mm-hmm. There was another man who didn't eat the meat. He claimed it was bear meat, and this man was an avid hunter, and he said the meat was greasy like that of bear.
I
Do
mean,
you think,
I can't contest that. I don't know if bear meat is greasy or not.
I
Hannah?
did. I forgot to ask my father before you ask.
Yeah, I was gonna. I was gonna say, this wasn't asking your father or anything like this, but do you think if you put like a bunch of meats in front of your father that he could guess what they are just by looking at them?
Just by looking at them.
Looking at them, smelling them, no taste, but
I don't know, maybe. I would think so. I mean, I could tell I can tell the difference between like pork, beef, and chicken.
I'm talking about like more of the weird exotic thingies that he hunts.
So venison, bear,
What was that weird thing that he made us eat the one time?
dad that tasted like refried beans.
Yeah, that one.
We had that meat in the freezer for a year before he finally threw it out. The town butcher gets his hands on some of the meat. He's in the it's venison or mutton camp, but then he pulls the meat apart and a stringy, fibrous material oozes out like milk.
I'm gonna leave if he keep talking weird shit like that.
I don't know what that means exactly. It's fucking disgusting, and I'm with you. I don't want to visualize that, but I
I
had to
will
read it, so now you have to hear it.
I will say, getting right back to testicles, if you cut testicles in half, there are stringy bits to it that is technically the semen in testicles. So please tell me that this is not semen. Please, Hannah.
I think we can confirm it's not human.
I wasn't talking about humans. I was talking about animal testicles.
Oh, I mean, that's a possibility. I didn't think of that, but it is a possibility that the butcher just got the worst bit.
Stringy. Oh no. Ugh.
The butcher also said, in regards to the smell of the meat, that it smelt like a new one, i.e., he couldn't place it. But lots of scientists who got samples would say it smelt like mutton. And speaking of those scientists who took samples, let's turn to a man by the name of Leopold Brandes. He said that the meat was a substance known as Gnostic, which is also referred to as star jelly, fallen star, and witch's jelly, just to name a few of its nicknames. Basically, the substance is a gooey slime that's found in soil, and it's a bacteria that you technically don't see till water is added to it. It's gross, but it's nothing abnormal. And also, it's not meat. It kind of looks like meat because it has these tubers in it, so it looks like muscle. But in short, Leopold is saying meat did not rain from the sky. And I'm sorry, I that was my really shitty explanation of Gnostic. I I tried to give a layman's term definition, but I didn't understand half of what I was reading. Then Leopold sends his samples off to other scientists to see if he could get his Gnostic theory confirmed. He sent them off to Newark Scientific Association, and the group wrote back with the results. They said the meat was from the lung tissue of either a horse or a human infant.
All right, that seems like they would be different sizes,
Yeah.
different amounts of meat there.
Mm-hmm. Two very different things.
One of those is
So that
quite
could have been
large.
several human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would have had to have been several human infants, is what you're saying.
Well,
Albert Fish!
I'm gonna go with a horse instead.
Albert.
Actually, I'm gonna go with a horse.
I
I'm gonna go
mean,
with a
it's one
horse.
or the other according to them. Could
Yeah,
be
but
a baby.
I'm
We
gonna
don't
take
know.
I'm gonna take the inference that we're in a farm and there's quite a lot, and say it's a horse.
Albert Fish.
We're not doing that. We're gonna say horse.
And by the way, these results and the letter Leopold received also appeared in a weekly medical journal back then. It was known as the Medical Record. And Newark's Scientific Association had their identification further backed up because they received more samples of the Kentucky meat trained, three of which were identified as muscle, and two of which were identified as cartilage. Basically, they're saying it's not Gnostic. It could be a human baby, but Leopold doesn't know what he's talking about. So we've identified the meat as meat. We don't know what it's from. but it's meat. Can confirm that.
Oh, good.
And that leads us to the next question. What caused meat to rain from the sky?
Colonel Sanders.
This is how Kentucky Fried Chicken was born. Yes.
There was an accident at the first restaurant. Things went
Mhm.
awry,
A baby unfortunately died.
but things happen, you know.
Yeah. It was the 1870s. You're lucky if most of your children live. Back to our meat story. The leading theory of what caused the meat rain comes from a man by the name of Dr. Castenbein, and this comes from all the way back in 1876. And he says the meat is vulture vomit.
Vulture vomit.
Mm-hmm. He wrote the only plausible theory explanatory of this anomalous shower appears to me to be that suggested by the old Ohio farmer. The disgorgement of some vultures that were sailing over the spot from their immense height. The particles were scattered by the prevailing wind over the ground. The variety of tissue discovered, muscular, connective, fatty, structureless, it can only be explained by this theory. In short, it was a coordinated bout of projectile vulture vomit.
I don't like that.
Can I just get an answer?
I love how that sentence sounds out of context because it sounds like these vultures plotted to do this. I love the idea of just like a group of vultures
Well, they did.
who hated Mr. and Mrs. Crouch so much that they threw up all over the farm.
They said coordinated because they all like, they all got watches.
Mm-hmm. They said at 2 o'clock or 11 a.m. That's when it was. At 11 a.m. got a vomit over the Crouch farm.
They all synchronized their watches. Everyone was ready.
How do we know that like vultures aren't just like regular when it comes to vomit? Kind of like how like people are regular when it comes to like shitting and peeing. Maybe they just like regularly vomit.
Like a certain
Well, they
time of the
kind of
day.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they seriously kind of do. There are two types of vultures in the area who are capable of doing this, those being the turkey vulture and the black vulture. And both types are known to projectile vomit their stomach contents as a form of self-defense and also to make themselves lighter to fly.
Okay, so to make themselves lighter to fly, but that would imply they're projectile vomiting before they take flight. Either of those scenarios, because what's going to threaten them in the sky? A fighter jet?
Yes. It could have been Mothman. We don't know.
But Mothman's not in Kentucky.
He can travel.
He's in West Virginia. The cryptids stay in their state. They all know what state they're supposed to be in.
You're gonna love my Christmas nails, Frankie.
Am I?
I'm gonna get Mothman with a little Santa hat.
That's adorable.
So the vulture theory is highly possible. Personally, I feel like this is the most likely theory, but Mrs. Crouch never reported seeing any vultures. She did not see anything in the sky.
Was she looking up at the sky or was she just looking at the meat on the ground?
She said there were clear skies and strong wind. That's it.
Okay.
I hope I just want you to know, Hannah. This story has stressed me out so much that I had to put on a face mask.
I'm so proud of you and jealous right now.
I'm so stressed about this meat.
Amanda, I'm going to spoil the ending. We don't have any confirmation of what the meat is. There
done.
are
Where it came
theories.
from.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm it. This is it. This is Amanda's last episode.
You've brought us a terrible tale, Hannah.
You're welcome. Happy
So
Thanksgiving.
A terrible tale with no answers and only questions.
Do you know what the Crouches had to say?
I
What
don't
their
care.
theory
My
was?
last name is Crouch.
They had to say what they had to say was, "Hey, can someone please take this meat off of our lawn?"
No, they just fed it to their animals. They didn't care.
Ah!
Hey,
No.
fair enough. If you're a farmer,
They're like free food for the animals. Hell yeah.
you got to take what you can get.
So the Crouches had their own theory. They believed the meat rain to have been a sign from God. I don't know what God was trying to tell them.
Your son of what?
Maybe the apocalypse was upon
Hey,
them.
take care of your yard.
He said, cut your grass.
There's a serial killer on the loose, and they might be going after infants.
That's it. That's the end of their theory.
God. Their theory is just God.
Well, remember, Mrs. Crouch thought her son was dismembered and thrown around her yard.
I believe that more than God.
Me too.
Yeah, what's the message if it is God?
Fuck you. I don't know.
Kentucky is filled with sin.
Kentucky, can you explain yourselves, please?
The message is, hey, what are we doing down in this state, huh?
I
You think-
have. Oh,
You think
continue.
maybe he was aiming for Colonel Sanders, because we all know, as we all know,
Ooh,
Colonel Sanders, stolen valor. He was never a colonel in the military.
that is true.
You know what? He was a mule tender. He was taking care of the farm animals. You think God was like, listen, I'm sick of this stolen valor.
He said, stop lying about being a veteran.
Yeah. Well, he was a veteran. He just wasn't as high up.
Oh. Stop lying about your military history. Well, I have some even wilder theories about what caused the Kentucky meat rain.
I don't want to hear them unless
I-
I can. I just want guarantees that this isn't going to happen to me.
I don't think it'll happen to you. We don't have a lot of
Don't-
vultures in the area, so
Yeah, don't hang out with vultures. I think you'll be good. One wild theory is that an animal exploded.
that's what my idea was.
Someone just
It's
came.
busted.
No, some animal was shot and the carcass went everywhere after being launched in the air by some explosion.
That's what I said. Someone set off a bomb.
Yeah.
Grenade.
I don't know if they had grenades back then.
A Molotov cocktail.
I don't think they had Molotov cocktails
No,
back
they
then.
had those. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's alcohol and a rag, right?
Yeah, but did they know how to make a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah.
It's alcohol and a rag.
That doesn't mean anything.
I think I think those were around back then, Frankie.
Yeah, it's alcohol, which they had, and rags, which I'm pretty sure they had.
Actually, rags not invented until 2005, surprisingly.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Another theory comes from a New York Times reporter back in 1876. This reporter said it could be a meteor shower,
Aliens? What?
as
Were
in
they trying
chunks
to
of.
make a joke?
It looks better in my notes because it's meat, MEAT.
I get it, meteor. I get
Yeah.
it.
Is this a joke he made, or is this a joke you're making, Hannah?
I'm pretty sure this is a joke I stole from And That's Why We Drink. Because the theory goes as follows. Chunks of meat rain down from the sky after the Earth passed through a bunch of orbiting meat chunks.
Why are there meat chunks in the sky?
Because it's
Aliens.
1876 and we don't know shit.
Aliens.
Or an actual meteor hit a bunch of birds when it was coming down to Earth.
Jesus Christ.
You don't think
And-
the birds would have been like, oh,
You don't think the birds would have been set on fire?
You don't think there'd be a meteor
you
anywhere
don't
in
think
the
that meat
vicinity?
would have been toasted?
Yeah, it would have been cooked at least.
This wild theory then turned into an even wilder theory.
Yeah, a spaceship.
Another planet with life forms exploded and they rained down on the Crouch Farm in 1876.
Martians. I knew it.
That
It's
is a legitimate
always
theory.
It's that little Martian guy from the Looney Tunes. He has
Martian
that-
Manhunter.
Yeah, no. Martian Manhunter is the DC comic book guy.
Oh,
No, the
Marvin
the
Martian.
Martian.
Marvin
Yeah.
Martian.
It's him with his little ray gun or whatever. He needs to knock it off.
I will end the theory section with another actually possible theory.
What do you
So
mean
you-
actually possible? Everything you just said is actually possible.
I'm gonna hurt you, Franklin. I'm going to maim you. I'm going to injure you. I am a better shot than whoever is trying to shoot Donald Trump. Watch out.
You can't hurt me.
I
Who's
You
gonna see
said that.
No, who's gonna see the Jungkook movie with you when you hurt me?
God damn it. I thought you meant you can't hurt me, which is untrue. I have hurt you because you keep bringing up the fact that I stabbed you with a bottle cap.
Yeah, you can hurt me physically, but if you hurt me, then no one will see the Jungkook movie with you.
Are you saying Monique is no one?
She's doing something else that day.
Fuck off.
Yeah, yeah, I know all about it. So you got nothing now. All right, Hannah, what's this last possible theory, even though all of them have been possible,
This
equally
actually
possible?
this actually plausible theory is that the meat rain is from a water spout. And a water spout is basically a tornado that begins over water and then moves to land. With water spouts, they tend to pick up some form of animal life. There are reports of fish and frogs raining down from the sky thanks to water spouts.
That's kind of cute. The frogs, not the fish.
Why not the fish?
I don't know. I don't find fishes cute.
The frogs may survive.
Now they have a whole new world to explore.
It's a whole new world.
Please don't sing. We don't want to get copyright claimed.
Well, it was off key enough for us to not get copyright claimed.
Yeah, that's
It
why
was
I
really
sang it
bad.
like that. That's why I sang it
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, that's. I knew what you were going
That
for.
was the plan the whole time.
Yeah. Oh wait, was it really not?
No, I'm just singing randomly because I can't actually sing, so I just started singing it.
Oh.
We all know what I was singing though, so
I thought you were doing. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. I thought you were being smart about it.
we all know what song it was, so it's fine.
Weird things falling from the sky isn't actually that uncommon, so who's to say meat can't get picked up in a weather phenomenon and we get strange moments of history like this? But once again, Mrs. Crouch never reported any rain the day of the meat shower. So if a waterspout was the cause, then where's the rain? There was no rain.
You know what? You know what?
You know what I've learned about people? They lie.
You know what? I think I got it. This is basically the song "It's Raining Men," but she didn't specify that these men are gonna be alive,
It's Raining Men just took on a whole new meaning when you look at it like that.
right? Oh, it
Yeah,
makes so much
it makes the song so much worse.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. That's the weather phenomena she was talking about. Man,
Death.
She saw into the future, heard
she
this song, and
she
it happened.
yeah.
No, I think who sang that song? Who's the singer?
I think the Weather Girls.
The Weather Girls went back in time, killed some people, caused them to rain down on the earth, and then wrote a hit song about it.
They didn't just kill some people; they killed some men. Hallelujah.
It's now Raining Men. Does my title now make sense, Frankie?
It does make sense. Your
Did
title
he
makes
not get?
sense.
Did he not get the title?
I already got I did get the title.
I don't know if I believe you now.
You should believe me. I'm a believable kind of guy.
I don't know. No, you're a lawyer. No comeback there.
But I don't practice law, so it's fine.
Oh man, fuck. I will have to talk about this at the end, but I have something. I have something to share.
No, we don't have to talk about you bullying me. It's fine. We all know you're a big bully.
No, I'm gonna talk about it.
All right.
I did look at Bath County and Olympia, which is the nearest town to where the story takes place on Google Maps. And there aren't many bodies of water. There's one skinny river on one side and a few tiny ponds on the other, but I wasn't really seeing anything that stood out to me. I mean, it's certainly possible a water spout could have formed over one of these bodies of water, but I don't know. I'm just not really vibing with this theory. Some people did think the Crouches were involved with a hoax. Some people thought the Crouches were throwing meat in the air and pranking their neighbors.
I think that's the explanation. That's the funniest.
But enough to fill a whole wagon.
They had a farm.
It's still a lot of meat. I don't think they were really wealthy.
You don't need to be wealthy to throw meat in the air. And then they used that meat. What did they use that meat to do, Hannah? Did they waste it?
No, I think it went to the farm animals.
When to the farm animals? They just got a little crazy one Saturday night. Maybe it wasn't a prank. Maybe they just got drunk.
As somebody who gets drunk,
Mm-hmm.
I've never thought about doing this.
Do you have ready access to farm animals?
Fair point, but no. Even if I did, don't think I would think about doing this.
You think I'm gonna make it rain meat in this economy?
She's got a point.
It's a different economy.
You're a different economy.
The community mostly denied this theory of a hoax. The Crouches were a good Christian family. They were upstanding members of the community, and the family never profited from this experience. They never made money. They weren't parading around like, come see the meat rain, 2 pennies only, today only. There weren't that many reporters who came to town, and Mrs. Crouch never even gave her first name. They did not want to associate with this weak fame. To me, the most plausible theory is the Vulture moment, and it's also the most accepted one.
I don't like that we're blaming all of our problems on vultures.
Never said this was a problem.
I think it is a problem. Do you not think it's a problem that random meat just shows up in your yard one day?
If I was a farmer with farm animals to feed, no, I wouldn't care.
I would care a little bit. I want to know what I'm feeding my animals.
A human infant
A horse.
or a horse, it's one or the other.
You fed your farm animals, Mr. Ed. How do you feel?
That was a good joke.
The former horse girl in me is crying and screaming right now. I'm so upset.
Frankie, that was a fantastic joke. You should feel proud of yourself.
I am proud of myself. I'm always proud of myself.
All right. Maybe don't be that proud of yourself.
This brings me to the end of my story. I have one final question. Can you see any of the meat from the Kentucky meat shower anywhere?
I don't know. Please tell me you can't. I don't want that meat to exist
Nope,
anywhere.
you can. You can. Monroe Mosnick Medical and Science Museum at Transylvania University in Lexington has a preserved sample of the meat on display. And in 2024, the Bath County History Museum opened an exhibit on the meat shower, and it too has a preserved piece of meat from the event on display.
How do they preserve that?
Salt.
They put it in a jar, and they put that like chemical in it to preserve it.
Formaldehyde.
Yeah. I also think it, there are preserved samples on like slides for a microscope.
Yeah, why don't we test it now?
I don't know. No
Yeah,
one
why does
cares
no one
enough,
test it?
probably.
They care enough to save it.
Yeah, care enough to test it.
Right into the Bath County History Museum.
That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah. Do they have an email? Maybe
Probably.
I'll email.
Do they have a Pony Express address?
I don't know, maybe.
What about a fax machine?
They have a place for my carrier pigeon to hide.
Do they have a floppy disk drive?
I think they have a telegraph, actually.
That would make sense.
Can they speak Morse code?
Can I send them some smoke signals, perhaps? Perhaps I can radio them with the telephone that Alexander Graham Bell invented. That was Thomas Edison. Never mind. No,
What's
Alexander Graham Bell.
that was Graham Bell. You were right the first
Yeah.
time.
Can I use his telephone and call them?
What's the thing where you communicate with flags? Can they understand that?
Just flag symbols, I think.
Yeah. No, there's a name for it.
Well, that brings me to the end. And that is how Kentucky Fried Chicken was born.
I'm quite excited by that. That was actually fun. It
Was
wasn't as
it?
gross as I thought. I thought it would be grosser, to be honest with you.
A man ate a piece of mystery meat for $1.
Yeah, but that's just like you could say that about today.
True, I could just go to a frat.
Yeah. And you can find a man who would eat some mystery meat for $1. He would eat some mystery meat for like a can of beer.
That's more than $1.
in high school, I saw somebody lick up their own vomit just for like $1. So
Men are gross.
yeah. So
Well,
thanks for this gross tale, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Would you like to hear how I unconsciously bullied Frankie?
yeah,
Well,
I'm judging every interaction now that I have with Amanda based
she
on this
bullies out
lens.
of love.
I didn't know
No,
I
this
was
was
doing
mean.
What did she do? What did you
So
do?
Amanda was sleepwalking again,
Ooh.
and during the sleepwalking, what year did you think it was?
2021, I believe.
2021, yes.
Ooh.
Amanda believes we were in 2021, and nothing me or Peanut Gallery could say would make her believe that it wasn't 21. In fact, we asked her to look up the on Google, and it said it was Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, and she thought that me and the Peanut Gallery had hacked her phone to make Google say that it was a different date.
You hacked Google?
No, just Amanda's phone.
Just the phone.
Okay.
Imagine if I could hack Google, the power I would wield.
So you hacked her phone and she still doesn't believe you.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then she said she laughed at the very idea of me being an attorney that works for the state.
Hey, first off,
Laughed at
listening
the idea, Hannah. Laughed
listening
at it.
listening back to the recording that the Peanut Gallery had made, she said you worked for the federal government. And I laughed.
First, and then I said no, I work for the state government, and you still continued to laugh.
Because I did not believe it in
Yeah.
my sleepwalking state.
Didn't believe I had the ability to work for the state.
I didn't. It's not. It had nothing to do with ability. I just didn't think you'd want to
Didn't
work
think
for
I
the
was
state.
a good enough attorney to work for the state.
Now he's all butthurt.
And well, now I know that you in 2015 believed that I couldn't have worked for the state. So,
I would. I will play back the tape or the recording or whatever it was that I said I could see you as either a judge or a professor.
you did say that, but don't think I can work for the state. So, we'll just move forward with me knowing that information.
What
Sounds
else
like you're
happened?
gonna beat her up.
Yeah,
No, I'm not gonna beat her up.
he sounds so. But you should have. You should have heard him on
I
the
should have
recording.
beat you up. Is that what you said?
No, you should have heard him on the recording. As soon as I started laughing, he's like, "All right."
Yeah, it was a little insulting.
Yeah,
Would you
it
have
was.
laughed if I said I worked in social media?
I don't know. I don't remember my sleepwalking. The only reason I know what happened is because there was a recording of it.
Like, do you think you would have laughed no matter what job Frankie said he had? Or like any job any of your friends had?
Of the believing then
No,
that I was gonna be a divorce attorney, which is also very insulting.
no, because at the time, right, you were working at a gas station.
Yeah, to pay for school.
Yeah, because I thought we were all still in school. In fact, they tried to convince me I was a therapist who had been working for at my job for 2 years, and I laughed at that.
I mean, I can see the connections your brain is making. You do think you and Frankie both are still getting your master's and your
Right.
law degree.
Yeah, thank you. Frankie just assumes I laughed because I don't believe in him. I laughed because he shouldn't have been legally allowed to work there.
Nah, you just don't believe in me.
He could have been an unpaid intern. He
And
could
we
just be
we
doing coffee
all now
runs.
we all know you didn't believe in me, so we're all aware.
If anything, I was one of your biggest supporters in law school.
We're just all aware of your real feelings.
What
Um,
if we told you had a podcast, Amanda?
I don't know. Maybe try that next time.
yeah, that'll snap her out of it. She'll be like, "Fuck, a podcast, gross."
Me, a podcast host? No, thank you.
Anyway,
Samantha's week next.
yeah, Amanda, you're up next. What are we doing?
The Three Caballeros.
Oh, we're
Oh,
going
nice. I
back
don't
to
have to
Disney.
watch this one.
Yeah, someone already watched it.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Don't say it wasn't fun. It don't. We should. Frankie and I need something to look forward to.
Well, I'm sorry,
Anything's
but there
better
was
than
no
the
Goofy
victory through air
short.
power.
That's true. There was no Goofy short, though.
That is true. It's all the birds, right?
Yep.
It's Jose, it's Donald, and I forget what the other one's name is.
The new one.
The red one.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, that will be next week. So if you want to be up to date with us, watch Three Caballeros before next week's episode is released. But we got to take care of some business tonight. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notification so you know when each episode is uploaded each and every Wednesday morning. If you're listening to us on Spotify, remember to give us a review and leave a comment about what you thought about the episode on the episode page. And no matter where you're listening to the show, please remember to share it with someone you think will enjoy listening to the show. We would very much appreciate that. If you would like to send us an email with ideas for future episodes, any questions you might have for us, any comments you just want to give about the show, you can do so by sending us an email over at
Nothing to see here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled Hear.
if you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda, some funny memes created by Hannah, you can see all of that over on our Instagram page, which is,
Nothing to see here pod.
I think that is all the business taken care of, unless we have anything else we would like to add.
I have gooses painted on my nails.
That's adorable.
They are.
Then this is the end of the episode then. So thank you all for listening. Goodbye and good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.